Welcome back to Wisdom Forge, the place where we sharpen your mind and strengthen your spirit. I'm Alex, joined as always by Jordan, and today we are diving deep into something that might just change the way you see every room you walk into.
That's right, Alex. We're talking about awareness, real, strategic, unshakable awareness. Inspired by one of history's most misunderstood thinkers, Niccolo Machiavelli. And before anyone closes this tab, hear us out. This is not about becoming manipulative. This is about stopping being manipulated.
Exactly. And here's the first thing that hit me hard from today's material. Machiavelli observed that the people who get targeted the most are not the weak ones. They are the good ones. The consistent ones. The transparent ones. And that consistency, that beautiful moral consistency, becomes a map for anyone who wants to use them.
That is so powerful, Alex, and so uncomfortable to hear. Because most of us were raised to believe that being good, being predictable in your kindness, earns you respect. But Machiavelli saw something different. He saw that morality without awareness becomes predictability. And predictability in a hostile environment is not virtue, it is exposure.
So what do we do with that? Do we stop being good people? Absolutely not. The answer is something called strategic ambiguity. You don't change who you are on the inside. You change what you reveal on the outside. You stop volunteering your emotional limits to people who haven't earned that trust.
And here's where it gets really interesting. Machiavelli talked about this concept of controlled weakness. Now stay with me here, because this sounds counterintuitive. The idea is that when you display all your strength, all your awareness, all your capability up front, people close off. They guard themselves. You get less information. But when you allow small gaps to be seen, people relax. They reveal. They expose their intentions without even realizing it.
It's like being the quietest person at the table who actually understands everything being said. The strongest strategist in the room is often the one speaking the least while understanding the most. That image alone should rewire how we think about confidence.
And emotional discipline plays a massive role here. Think about it, the moment someone discovers what triggers your anger, your insecurity, your loneliness, your need for validation, they have a remote control to your behavior. Uncontrolled emotions don't just hurt you in the moment. They make your entire decision-making process predictable and therefore controllable by others.
So the goal is not to become emotionless. It's to become harder to destabilize. Calm under pressure. Clear under manipulation. Controlled under provocation. Because once people realize they can no longer easily provoke you, once their usual tactics stop working, they lose their leverage entirely.
And that is where true confidence is born. Not in overpowering others, not in being louder or more aggressive. But in becoming difficult to move. Difficult to predict. Difficult to use.
Warriors, here is the takeaway I want you to carry with you today. Refusing to see the game does not remove you from the game. It only makes you an easier piece to move. Awareness is your armor. Emotional discipline is your strategy. And patience, quiet, calculated patience, is your power.
Drop the affirmation in the comments of today's video, I see the game. Because once you see it clearly, nothing hits the same way again. You move differently. You speak differently. You choose differently.
Thank you so much for spending this time with us at Wisdom Forge. If this episode stirred something in you, share it with someone who needs to hear it. We'll see you in the next one.
Stay sharp. Stay calm. Stay unshakable.